Alright boys, welcome back to the last week of JJDL Week 8, right before playoffs, which we have in fact locked. We're playing Bope, who you can check out in the top right hand corner if you have not already, and be sure to check out all of the other JJDL coaches down below. Like I said, this game does not matter. Unless we 6-0 Bope, odds are he makes playoffs, and there's no universe in which we can possibly miss playoffs due to the extreme number of 3 and 4 teams this season. It's a very close race between everybody who is 3 and 4, and this week matters a lot for all of those people. But for us, we're 5 wins, it doesn't matter. I could, and I almost did, go for a funny team, a little meme team, but it's not really me. I don't really play like that. I did have a team where I almost just tried to feed Iron Boulder kills, because it is possible if he gets 6 kills this week that he is tied for kill leader and most kills in JJDL history. So I was like, we could do that, but a 6-0 against the team that we're playing, who has Garchomp, is super unlikely. So instead, I'm not bringing my most serious team into Bope at all. I didn't spend a lot of time on this team. It was maybe a 15-minute build, 30-minute build, and usually I spend about an hour, maybe 2 on my team, depending on how serious I want to take it. So this is way toned down, but it's still a pretty fun team, and a team that I think can win, because I never know if I'm going to play Bope again, so I want to still give him a good game. Bope's team's gonna be Deoxys Speed, Garchomp, Primarina, Scizor, Farigiraf, Chandelure, Raikou, Toedscruel, and Zapdos. Galar and the Terra Pokemon are Farigiraf and Chandelure. A pretty scary team. In general, I do think we definitely have matchup on Bope. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot of counterplay to a couple of different Pokemon that we have. But the first Pokemon that we're gonna be bringing is gonna be Terra Fairy Raging Bolt. We're going to lead this guy because it matches up pretty well into everything. It can Volt Switch on a potential Spikes Deoxys Speed. It can Terra, and we get the Terra off into things like Garchomp and Zapdos Galar, which is really good. And I'm Terra Fairy because it helps with Garchomp, but it also gives the 50-50 on if Zapdos Galar wants to click Close Combat or Brave Bird. He could just U-turn as well, assuming he's Scarf, but we're going to be a Calm Mind set this week. I don't think we brought Calm Mind a whole lot, with Thunderclap for priority on Deoxys and potential Scarf Gyapdos, as well as just Gyapdos in general, I suppose. Thunderbolt and Dragon Pulse. Dual Stabs does very well in this matchup. He doesn't have a resist to it. We can get Calm Minds up pretty easily. I said we could Volt Switch on the Dio Speed. We don't even have Volt Switch. We can Calm Mind on it, I guess. We can Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt's pretty free, so that's probably what we'll aim for. We outspeed Creeps of 24 speed Rillaboom. We live 2 Gyapdos Scarf Brave Birds, and we put the rest in a special attack. And this set, like I said, is just a super neutral lead. It matches up well into pretty much everything. And yeah, I'm realizing now I didn't talk about Bope's team and what I think does well and what I think doesn't do well. I don't really want to give that insight right now because, first of all, I didn't spend a lot of time on this team, so I don't really have the best grasp of it. But second of all, it is possible that we replay in playoffs, so I don't want to say what I think his best sets are if we get that round 1, round 2 rematch. I really want to keep it a little bit to myself, especially since I'm not bringing the best possible team that I could. Moving on, we're going to bring Shoulder Day. It's a very standard set. We're max attack with enough speed to outspeed whatever we can, Raikou, I believe, and then we get the rest into HP. We're going to be Quick Attack, Mighty Cleave, Psycho Cut, and Mega Horn. We're Psycho Cut over Zin because it doesn't make contact and can do damage to what I assume might be a defensive Garchomp switch in with Rocky Helmet, Rough Skin, because Mighty Cleave makes contact, does a lot of damage. At least I believe it does. It does in fact make contact. We're Banded. We just do a lot of damage. That's it. We don't want to overthink it. It does really, really well. Garchomp switching is going to be very obvious, but as soon as it keeps switching in and keeps switching in, it's not going to appreciate taking the Psycho Cut, the Mighty Cleave, whatever the case is. Next up, we're going to have my favorite set in this week. We're going to be a Scarf, URSALUNA Bloodmoon. We don't get Switcheroo, we don't get Trick, so I have Fling, just in case we don't want to be Scarf. There are situations in which we could lock Bloodmoon and we don't want to, so we want to Fling the item and then Bloodmoon into Hyper Voice. It's very niche, but we didn't really need a 4th move. And then Bloodmoon, Hyper Voice, and Earth Power. He doesn't have a great resist to Bloodmoon. It's just Scizor, and Scizor doesn't appreciate Earth Power. He could be a Spadef Scizor and AV Scizor. I think that would make a lot of sense. We're going to do a lot of damage to it. We're simply max speed because this allows us to outspeed a Garchomp that is max speed and hopefully catch it off guard. I think that it obviously doesn't get outsped by anything except Raikou and Deoxys that is not Scarf, so this can catch a lot of things off guard. If he's Banded Gyapdos, which I think makes a ton of sense, if he's obviously just neutral Garchomp, we outspeed those and we do a ton of damage. And it's going to be our in-game. URSALUNA Bloodmoon is what we're going to work towards in the in-game. Next up, we do have a pretty interesting spread here on Uncle Mike. I guess I went in-depth with this one. I don't even remember what this does, but we're Fake Out, Drain Punch, Thunder Punch, and Ice Punch. The Miles Bridges special. Shout out to Central. We have Assault Vest. We're going to be a special wall. It helps us take hits from like Raikou, Deoxys, Prim, And Shandy, it's not a guaranteed check to any one thing, but it can take a hit and do a lot of damage back. And Uncle Mike's whole purpose here is to try to trade a Pokemon. If you can take a hit from Garchomp and Ice Punch it, fantastic. Take a hit from Shandy and KO it with whatever he may be. We play off his type, fantastic. Fake also gives us extra damage into potentially the Deoxys speed, and if we wanted to lead Uncle Mike, depending on what he has over Raging Bolt, we decided it's a little bit better with the 6 he has. We could fake out in attacking pretty much whatever he wants to do unless he leads Shandy, in which case we can play off his Terra, because we obviously don't hit him super well, otherwise we get Thunder Punch. But our EVs allow us to outspeed a 12-speed Scizor. We live 2 Psychics from the Deoxys speed, 2 Gyaptos Brave Birds, and link the rest into Attack Adamant. Like I said, not super crucial. He is just here to trade a Pokemon. Next up, we simply went Banded Rillaboom. He doesn't have a lot of great switch-ins. It's just Scizor, and if we chip the Scizor down, then obviously that makes Ursaluna's job a little bit easier. So we're just U-turn, Glide, Woodhammer, and Knockoff. Glide is fantastic in Dio, into the Garchomp, and obviously having Grassy Terrain is fantastic for a Garchomp matchup, especially when we don't match up super well into Garchomp. We have Skarmory, but past that is a little tough. Knockoffs to catch switches, knock things off, knock off Scizor's potential boots, things like that. And we just have enough speed to outspeed everything we can, max attack, rest into HP. This Pokemon positioning this is going to be pretty important in this game to chip things down. Very fast team builder, I know, I'm sorry. Our last Pokemon is Skarmory. We're going to be Rocky Helmet. This is to catch things off guard, like we can switch in on the Scizor, our initial Scizor switch in. We can switch in on the Garchomp, who doesn't have Fire Blast or Flamethrower. We have Roost, Stealth Rock, Spikes, and Brave Bird. We want to get a little bit of extra chip on things to put them in range of that Scarf Ursaluna Bloodmoon, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Brave Bird lets us hit things pretty well, and we're nothing crazy. We're enough speed. Let me see here. I didn't even write down what this Skarmory set does, so I'm sure it's important. But that's going to be the team, guys. Extremely short team builder. I'm very sorry. Like I said, I don't want to go too in-depth of what I think Bope will bring, because it's very possible that we play in playoffs. If we win, we go 6-2. We fulfilled the prophecy. Fantastic. I said it. I called it. We would go 6-2. Awesome. If not, we still make playoffs. I'm not really pressed about this game. But I do want to give Bope a good game, and I'm very competitive, so obviously I'm not just going to throw something together that's bad. I still think this is a good team that does have the capability to win. With all that being said, guys, please check out all of the JJDL coaches down below. Shout out to Sunny for editing this video. I hope I made it easy on you, man, with this short video. And thank you guys so much for watching. And for now, guys, this has been John Jr. signing off. Bope's team's gonna be Deoxys Speed, Garchomp, Primarina, Scizor, Giraffe,